What's up, folks? Welcome to Math Walkthroughs with Mr. Weeb. Today we're looking at the area of a triangle. Now, these are our Lesson 2 Your Turn questions, so let's get right into it. It says, what is the area of this triangle? Well, first we need to know what is our relevant information. Here we have our base, we know we're going to need that, and we know we're going to need our height, because the formula for the area of a triangle is going to be base times height. We've got base times height, all of that divided by 2. So now when we put this in, our area is going to be 12 times 8, which is 96. And then we're going to take all of that and divide it by 2. So again, we just recopy it. 12 times 8, we get 96. We divide it by 2. Half of 96 is going to be 48 square centimeter. And centimeters, that's our area. And there it is right there. It's one of the options. Don't be fooled that just because they give you all of this extra information, don't be fooled that you need to use all of it, right? Make sure you know what you need to use and then use it wisely. For this, all we need is one base, one height, and that's all we need. All right, the next question says, a triangle has an area of 20 square centimeters. Which measurements could not be the base and height of the triangle? Well, since we know that area has to be the base times the height, and it's going to be divided by 2, we know essentially that this area is going to be 20 square centimeters. And that's going to be the base times height, again, base times height, divided by 2. Well, what does that say? That means that whatever this is has to be twice as much as what this is. Because if we had, like, let's say 10 here, then we would divide it by 2 and we'd get 5. If we had 20 here, we would divide it by 2, we'd get 10. That's not right. If we had 40 here, we'd divide it by 2 and we get 20. So we need our base times height to be 40. So essentially, we can write this down as base times height, in this case, has to be 40. Well, let's see what these are. For A, well, base times height is 40. This one would work. Let's jump down to C, where we have 8 and 5. That one would work because 8 times 5 is 40. 20 times 2 is 40. That one would work. However, 5 times 4 is 20. So if we input 5 here and a 4 here, that would be 20 divided by 2, and we would get 10, so it wouldn't work. So we're going to circle this one. That one doesn't work for this. The next question says, why don't you need to know the lengths of all 3 sides of a triangle to figure out the area of that triangle? And I would say this. The only 2 pieces of information you need for finding the area of a triangle are its base and its height. You'd need all 3 sides if you wanted to find the perimeter. On the next page, it asks us to describe 2 ways to determine the area of this triangle. All right, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this red and highlight this blue. We know the first thing that we should do, write down the formula for this. Base times height, and all of that is divided by 2. So in this case, area would be 6 times 5, all of that divided by 2. So that's one way we could do it, but we could also take this shape and duplicate it, and then turn it so that now 5 is the base, right? Hope you can see this okay. So now the area would be base times height divided by 2. It's the same equation, but now it just looks a little bit different. Now, instead of instead of 6 being the base, we have 5 times 6, and all of that divided by 2. I would also add a sentence here to make it clear that you know what you're doing. You can use any side of the triangle as the base, you'll just have to find the proper height. Finally, the question is, how is the formula for the area of a triangle similar to the formula for the area of a parallelogram, and how is it different? I would answer like this. They both need two pieces of information, base and height. The difference is that the area of a triangle with the same base and height of a parallelogram is going to be half as big. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.